Hi Leo, it's Kendrick from Providence Tarot. I just did Taurus's reading, and I'm gonna do yours now. I'm in Central Park, and I needed to get out of the house, and this was the perfect day to do that because it's gorgeous. The temperature is perfect. If it could be like this all year round, I would not be mad. I would actually love it. But I do like that we get 4 seasons right here. Hold on. How you doing? Oh, cards fell out for you. Eager to tell. Let's see. Okay. I love doing that. I'm using the Badass Bitches Tarot by Cardi B. I'm trying to be modest because there are kids around. I don't want to curse. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so you have extra cards here, right? So there's like, I don't know, an abundance of information. Let's see where it goes. So you had 2 cards that jumped out for you. I guess it's only 1, is it? Oh, it's 2. Okay, let's see what they are. The 7 of Wands, right? Which is talking about trying to achieve balance. You might be struggling a little bit, like you're doing the best you can. That's kind of like what this card is saying. You're doing the best you can, and it's like it's staying passionate about the direction that you're going in, and it's asking you to stay the course, right? Because you've done some work, okay? The 7 of Wands talks about the work that you are doing to get to a place of completion or satisfaction or accomplishment, right? Because the 7s are definitely talking about how you are relating to an experience, and how you relate to an experience is how you learn from it, you know? So it's like, how do you feel? Why do you think you feel the way you feel? What are you doing? You know, how are you doing what you're doing? You know what I mean? It's like that type of thing. So, you know, it's just you're being challenged in a healthy way right now. And if you feel like, why is this happening to me? Like that type of thing, it's not like it's just testing you, because you've got to become stronger in each phase or each chapter of your life that you go through, so that you can be ready for the next. Because it's like, it's not like life gets easier, right? So it's like your lessons are going to be different. They're going to, you know, and a different lesson might seem harder than the last. You know, and it could even just be like some people's lessons are like dropping 50 pounds and running in a marathon. You know, sometimes it could take someone a long time to do that, and that was one of their major lessons for, finding this new sense of self, or, you know, exploring this part of themselves that maybe they neglected to do before. So that's what this is talking about. You're kind of like exploring uncharted territory, right? Or this is kind of like there's no one that is actually meant to help you right now. That's kind of like what the 7 of Wands is talking about. And it's like, it's kind of like standing up for yourself, right? And I'm not saying like getting in anyone's face and just telling them how you feel that day. You know, it's kind of like, don't dream it, be it. Do you know what that's from? Also, you know, it's not about what you say. It's about what you do and how you present yourself and your behavior under pressure and all of those types of things. Because it's like, how graceful are you under pressure? How do you handle yourself under pressure? Do you make the pressure about other people? You know, like that type of thing. Let's see what the next card is, because I don't want to give you too much on the 7 of Wands. All right, so you got the Emperor, which is That's Aries energy, you know. It's also kind of fourth house energy because it's number 4. Isn't that crazy? But this talks about identity, strength of identity, affirming one's identity, and what you want. This is your ego, right? And it's also narcissism in a kind of way, because like a healthy ego and being a healthy narcissist is something that is good for the psyche, right? I don't think that anyone who ever accomplished something major in their lives didn't have a healthy sense of narcissism about them, you know? Wow, but the ego can definitely be used as a tool, right? And this is also intense emotion and how it is, how it manifests through action or behavior, that type of thing, right? So it's kind of like maintaining a sense of balance and control, but, you know, stay focused on the goal and the direction that you've been going in. You know, you don't want to get, it's like when someone starts talking about something that they're passionate about, but then they go completely off and then they start going on about something else, you know, that type of thing. So it's like, remember what it was that, where this started, how this all started, you know what I mean? And not what triggered, right, but how it started. Where did it come from? What's the origin, right? So that's kind of like what we're dealing with. And when you have to learn karmic lessons in life, they usually originate from a place of trauma or neglect, you know, just like something that was challenging. So later in your life, when you experience challenges and intense emotions that may have been dormant, it's coming from a place of origin. It's like nobody handed you that feeling and said, this is yours. You know, it kind of was already there. All right. So let's go ahead and see what was at the bottom of the deck for you. The Queen of Swords. You know, this is kind of like truth, right? And this is, it's 1/3 Virgo, right? Because the court cards, the kings, the queens, the knights, they all have a little bit more of a complex personality, so we give them 1/3 of the sign that comes before them, right? So then we kind of understand what their motives are and why, you know? But then it's also what's blocked, okay? So what we are focused on is thoughts, opinions, relationships. This is a person that is serious, right? So someone is serious about something, okay? Because the Queen of Swords isn't like a light kind of energy, because she's related to the Three of Swords, which is Saturn and Libra, and that's exalted, but it's kind of like getting it's getting the best response. So this could be saying this is the best response that you're going to get, or this is the best kind of communication that you can get at the moment. Like the Queen of Swords is like, she can be intimidating to communicate with, because she may have a wealth of information, or she may have a lot to say, or the words could seem intimidating, or these could be oppressive words or thoughts. So you could be having oppressive thoughts, or someone could be challenging you and could be challenging the way you think. So you're forming some oppressive thoughts in your own mind. Wow, this is so crazy, because I really don't see myself when I read for like signs that my sun, moon, or rising aren't. Only for some I do, because like my chart is kind of like, whoa. But wow, this is kind of hitting me in some kind of way. But it's for you, Leo. Yeah, so I'm just gonna, and I'm not, you know, and it's not even probably like what you might be thinking, right? look at it in a different way, right? It's not the obvious for me. For me, it wasn't obvious. So it's like whatever is going on in my life that is obvious to me, this was not obvious, but it's like kind of like turning on a light for me. And it's good. I like it. I actually like it. I love it. Work. All right, so let's see what's at the center of your reading, Leo. What's going on here? But you know, the Queen of Swords is sextile energy, right? It's just somebody who's pretty serious, right? Like I said, somebody who's pretty serious, Queen of Swords, that energy is here as the Six of Swords. Like, look, I mean, we got, is this Selma Hayek as the Seven of Wands? And then I think this is Pamela Anderson as the Emperor. And then we have Judge Judy here as the Queen of Swords. Right? So like, and then, or that could be you. You know, you could be serious about something, about a decision, because this talks about serious decisions being made. Because Saturn and Libra, right? Serious, okay? Challenging decisions, right? So you could be faced with having to make some challenging decisions. You know, so it may not just be about feeling intimidated by something, right? But, you know, sometimes it always touches a little bit of everywhere. Now, this Six of Swords is Mercury in Aquarius, which is an exalted energy. Again, it's kind of like getting the best out. So, the sixth house is Virgo, and that talks about learning. What is your learning ability? And what is your willingness to compromise, right? How can you bring about positive change by making compromises or by prescribing yourself with the right innovative ways or with innovative ways of doing things, right? Or seeing things. It's a change of perspective. But this is also travel and movement because it's Mercury, that's movement, in Aquarius. And in esoteric astrology, Aquarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is talking about travel and movement. But this is saying that travel and movement are going to another place that's different, that's kind of like giving you something different to look at, perhaps, is going to be healthy for you. You need like a change of scenery right now, right? This is for me, like today, this is a change of scenery for me. I mean, I even have my shoes off because I'm like trying to really like get grounded here. But yeah, you need a change of scenery. That'll be good for you. Even if it's just like a quick thing, you know. And that's also a situation improving. Like Aquarius rules friends. It also rules other people's like children, that type of thing. And it also is talking about society. So this is kind of like you might need to pull away and detach from society for a little bit. Just to kind of like clear your head and find a safe space to think. This could even be like tapping into whatever it is that helps you, you know, escape. It's like a lateral way of thinking, but in order for you to, it's almost kind of like, it's horizontal because it's water, right? Because it's literally kind of like, it's a horizontal way of thinking, but it's like flowing away with ease, you know? It's like not a disturbing kind of exit or departure, you know? It's kind of like with ease, you know? So let's see what the challenge is, or what the influence, what is the immediate influence in terms of the Six of Swords. So we're getting somewhere now. It's kind of like improving. I feel like it's getting a little bit better. Okay, wow. Nine of Wands, yeah. So the Six of Swords is saying, yeah, moving forward, or moving towards, moving on, changing something, breaking up the energy, detaching from that which made you feel kind of challenged in your mind, in your perspective, right? The Nine of Wands is talking about perspective, and it's talking about the knowledge and the wisdom that you have gained from an experience or a situation that has taught you something, but you do have some emotional wounds, right? So it's kind of like, okay, I learned from that experience. I'm mature, I'm more mature, I'm more wise. You know, I'm digesting everything that has happened here. Even, you know, I'm still healing, I'm still digesting something, right? So you're trying to get comfortable, okay? Because you know where you are now. You're like, okay, this is where I find myself, and I'm gonna get comfortable in this place here, right? Yeah, it is definitely getting more comfortable, but it's coming from a place of discomfort, right? Because in order to have, I mean, you know, for there to be discomfort, there has to also be comfort, right? So, which side of it are you on? You know, and this is talking about creating healthy emotional boundaries. It could be like physically, right? Or this could be like uh, creating healthy processes or doing things creative that are going to be healthy for you or going to be crucial, right, for your healing, right? So you have to kind of like be creative to heal, okay? I feel like that for everybody. Even if you're like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, whatever years old, you have to be creative. It's like, I feel and I believe that we all have like an inner child. It's like the child that we once were. It always lives inside of us. So you have to continue to like nurture that, right? And that's why everything in life isn't just gray or black and white. You get like green, you get blue, you get red, you get orange, and you shouldn't forget any of that, right? Don't forget colors, don't forget sounds, smells, tastes, things that make life sensational. Okay, so let's go to the past. Oh wow. Okay, this is pretty, consistent. So you got the Death card in the past, rebirth. This is also a card of peace, right? There was maybe some endings that had to happen in order for something to become restabilized, or for you to, it's like, you know, emotional stability was something that was needed. 13 reduced to a 4, but it also, there had to be a catalyst for us to see any of this, because it was down there. You know, this is 8th house energy. It's 4th and 8th house energy just because it's 13, right? So it's 1st house, which is Aries. It's 3rd house, which is talking about communication and what we might have been trying to run from or hide from or detach from, you know. But then it's like, you can't, because there's a place of origin for these feelings and for these emotions, you know what I mean? It's like something that is dormant, right? Before you know something, you didn't know it. And it's also talking about like not being able to unknow something. Okay? Anyway. Oh my goodness. But this is saying that there was an ending in the past, right? But we're moving on from that, okay, with the 6 of Swords being here and then the 9 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands is also talking about, okay. It's almost like a sense of the goal here is to heal, right? So now that you know that, that's when the work begins. Right, another 9. 9 of Swords here is in the Sun position, and this is talking about, you know, like right now at this time, in this moment that we're in, the Sun, like in this reading, is bringing focus to what you're worried about. And you're worried about the past. You're also worried about certain things that you can't like adjust, change, or fix, because it's a 9, so it's related to the Hermit, which is actually Virgo, so it talks about adjustments, right, and analysis, right? So you could be over-analyzing something just because it's a 9. It's related to the 9th house of Sagittarius, which is talking about overdoing it, and this is Mars in Gemini, so it's like, you know, putting the aggression into searching for the answers, right? But, you know, it's kind of like just worrying because it's something to do. Also, when you're bored, you know, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you've got to like you've got to channel, maybe you're feeling challenged or something, I don't know. You've got to channel that energy towards something positive. And that is actually challenging in itself. That's hard. For you to be like, I don't want to be focused on these negative thoughts or emotions. I want to do something. So it's almost like you're creating this negative headspace just because, you know, you might be not finding the time to process things well. I don't know. This says you're not processing things well, basically. Okay. And in the moon position, you have the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So this is saying, like, yeah, be creative, focus on work, do something that's going to make you feel accomplished, right? Because when we feel accomplished, or we feel successful, or we feel like we've done some form of work, we just feel good, you know. But it also talks about getting started, you know, because you'll feel better once you actually get started on whatever this project is. Okay. And it's Mars, so it's talking about your actions. It's talking about your aggression. It's talking about your virility and, like, needing to, I don't know, just use your energy for positive things. Okay. Like the Three of Pentacles, it's like you'll see change happen when you initiate it. You know what I mean? You can't, like, wait around for change. You have to be the catalyst for change. And it also talks about, like, waiting, because it's Mars in Capricorn. Just don't wait to get started. Get started now. You know, you're never going to be 100% ready. You know what I mean? Even, like, I'm sure when astronauts go up to outer space, so they go to, like, the space center or whatever, you know, there's still an element of, like, fear that's there, I'm sure. So it's not like no one is ever 100% ready, right? Let's see. Okay, so this is good. So this is a progression here. So in the moon, you got the Three of Pentacles, and then in your hopes and fears, you got the Four of Pentacles. So that's Sun in Capricorn. So we're dealing with something, maybe your financial situation will improve and you'll find financial stability in the way that you want it now in about a month and a half, which is going to be Capricorn season. But let's say the end of December, I feel like that's when things might actually start to stabilize for you, in terms of, like, money and finances and whatever it is that you want to invest in, that is going to bring about change in your life in a real way, in a meaningful way, you know. And it also talks about, like, more responsibilities around that time too. Okay, so towards the end of the year, going into the new year, you will find yourself faced with more responsibility, and that might be good because you need something to focus on, right? Because Capricorn, it's the mountain goat, it's the ibex, right? They're climbing up the dam, right? And it's like they can't be distracted. And also, it's just like someone that has to be doing something all the time. So that might be what, you know, not like trying to stay active and, you know, not ever being able to detach, but something to do with, like, family as well. So I feel like you will start, like, maybe you'll be seeing family around that time, late December, you know, so you might even feel better. Okay. Yeah, definitely more stable around that time. Okay, this is great. So in the Mars position, you have the Lovers, and that is Mercury, but it's basically kind of like the Virgo energy, because Virgo is the 6th house and the Lovers is number 6. And this is talking about compromise, right? It's like you will see the reciprocity, or you will see the payoff when you are more flexible, okay? When you are adapting to change in a healthy way. How are you adapting to this change? You know? It's also inspiration, you know? Mars is, it's kind of like, I feel like you thrive off of inspiration. You might be thriving off of inspiration from nature. There's a dog coming by, like very obsessed with that. So yeah, it's like that type of thing. Life surprises, right? That's what the Lovers is talking about. It's like being pleasantly surprised by something. Life does have a lot of surprises that we never expect. Okay, you have to also kind of like let yourself go a little bit in order to experience life's surprises, because if you were too rigid or too strict and you weren't flexible about anything, then you wouldn't be able to experience life surprises, or have things sort of awaken your senses. So this says that your senses will be awakened to something, and maybe that's going to be later on in the year, and it's going to be your senses awakening to something that's healthy for you. It's good, and it adds to your individualized experience. Wow. Okay, so in the Venus position, this is really great. I love this. You have the Ace of Cups, and this is it's emotional satisfaction, but it's also kind of like, how do I feel? How do you feel? It's emotional receptivity, and it's also, a new feeling that you're relating to in a positive way. It's the beginning of the actual like healing. Like this is like really like when you feel like things are actually starting to like, you're starting to feel more flow again, Okay, and this is also freedom. Okay, freedom of emotional expression that's going to be happening around that time. Just because the Ace of Cups is water, and water is expressing itself a lot. You get it in liquid form, you get it in gas, you get it in solid, in ice, and then you can actually, it's like you can get it in droplets, you can get it in the ocean, you can see it in the river form, you know what I mean? Like, it's like so amazing. So I feel like that's something that you will be experiencing later on. Like I said, like maybe in like 2 months' time, maybe a little bit less than that. But it could even be a new relationship, right? Because it's the Ace of Cups being in the Venus position. Something is bringing you pleasure, something is bringing you satisfaction, that type of thing. But this is the beginning of a new phase, of a new process, okay? We like that. Great. 9 of Pentacles. Perfect, You get the Ace of Cups in the Venus position, and then you get the 9 of Pentacles. So this is kind of like focusing on what matters for you. Focusing on your career goals, right? Because the 9th house is Sagittarius. That's goals, right? Expansion, growth, opportunity. And, Virgo is focused on the work, right? The quality of the work. That's going to bring about the opportunity. That's what people are going to see. That's actually what matters. That's what people pay for too, quality. And it's like you want and desire more quality out of life, right? You've learned and you've grown. So what you expect is a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more finesse, right? So this is good. It's kind of like creating the right type of, creating boundaries so that you can focus on your career, your job, and that type of thing, that type of career growth, and it's getting a new opportunity. This is kind of like, oh, really, I can do this? I never thought that, it could come into form in this way, because it's Earth, but it's mutable. Like I said, And like I was talking about how water can be in many different forms. It's like Virgo is like a crystal or a stone or a grain of sand or, you know, a leaf, you know, or a blade of grass. It's like those types of things. Like, so Earth can come in many different forms. So this is kind of like saying that something is happening that you never really anticipated, because it talks about unexpected surprises with these nines. Or something that you weren't necessarily ready for or expecting. Okay, so that's great. But you're gonna have to like manage your time more wisely with the Nine of Pentacles. It does talk about more responsibilities with the Nine of Pentacles. But that's going to kind of like, it's like an evolution in your career, okay, and in work. It's good. Change is up. All right, so the Two of Wands, that's great. This is like, you know, being bold, right? This is Mars in Aries, and this is exactly where it is now. And it's talking about, I'm going to say this is when Mars goes direct, right? So when Mars goes direct, I feel like you're going to have it in your mind to make these new plans or these bold plans, right? Because once you start acting and you start doing things that are going to be assertive and self-affirming, then you're going to start revealing things to yourself, right? Things will start to be uncovered as you start to explore more of your options. And the Two of Wands does talk about exploring your options of what you can do, you know, that type of thing. And it also is kind of like saying that, like, there's someone else that might be in the picture, right? Or you might be having to think about how your actions affect someone else, because it's two. Second house, which is Taurus, which talks about, you know, things that you might be ignoring, right? Or things that you may not be conscious of. And the twos are like cause and effect. It's like how you're related, right? And it's something that might have to bring balance to a situation, you know. But it is talking about how, like, your actions might be affecting other people. But then it's also kind of like saying taking risks too. So for however that hits you, you know, feel the impact. So let's see what the last card is at the very top. Okay. So at the top, it's the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is Moon in Aquarius, okay? And this is kind of like searching, because the Moon is searching. It's like you're searching for answers, but it's like trying to find the truth, you know? Emotional truth, trying to express your emotional truth. It's like finding it difficult to say, to find the words that are going to convey how you feel, that type of thing. And, you know, it's Moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius is kind of detached from the emotions, but the Moon is like, I am trying to find a way to express, or this could be just like knowledge, you know, because Aquarius is knowledge, having the wisdom or having the knowledge, the answers, and the Moon is like searching for it, you know, truth as well. The Moon is also deceptive, right? So deception and deceiving, knowledge. Someone may not be saying everything, or someone might be leaving something out. This is someone that you are actually communicating with, perhaps, or you might be afraid of what someone might be saying, or what you might be trying to like get in someone's head, and that's also kind of challenging too, because it's hard to guess what people are thinking. But this 7 is talking about learning and being challenged. So this is a karmic lesson, okay, of how you relate to friendships and society, perhaps, and maybe even, out the community, right? So it could be trying to find balance in the community, or trying to find a sense of peace within a situation that you may feel is like incomplete. You know, this is also like the moon in Aquarius wants closure. Right? It wants closure, I feel. And this is saying like closure will actually be reached. Let me see. Do I have a card that kind of clarifies this for us? I think I do. I'm going to use these, which are, I think they're Italian. They're like really cute. My friend got these for me for my birthday. Okay, let's see. What is Seven of Swords mean for you? You know, this usually lies in deception and not feeling satisfied by something. Or someone is, oh, okay. This is the King of Cups, which is a water sign. It could be Scorpio, 1/3 Libra, but this is Scorpio energy. So someone maybe have some secrets, or may not be saying something. Like I said, there could be a water sign that is deceiving or lying to you about something. And I feel like that's what that is, whoever that water sign is. Or it could just be somebody who is exhibiting the behavior of a water sign. Now, it could be Scorpio, right? And whatever this conflict is, that's a mental conflict, that's kind of like affecting you emotionally, there's going to be like a resolution to it, okay? And that's only because this is Leo, right? This is a Leo reading, and this is a Scorpio card, and that is a square, and that's talking about conflict, but it's conflict that's going to bring a resolution because you're trying to work out ways to harmonize a situation or to stabilize something. So it's like, you know, it will happen. These also square each other too, Scorpio and Aquarius, right? So you might be dealing with Scorpio and Aquarius energy, perhaps. This could also be Libra, okay? This could even be Gemini, but I would say this is probably Aquarius or Libra. Even Cancer, but I will stop there, right? And this could also be the mother, right, specifically, because the Chariot is number 7, and it rules all the 7s, and the Chariot is actually Cancer, okay? And then this King of Cups is related to the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is Moon in Cancer, and the Moon is Mom, and Cancer is Mom, and that is home. So there could be something going on in the home, right? You might be feeling uncomfortable with something there. How communication, or how, you know, you might be thinking and feeling. There could be like a little bit of like, steam. It's like, I don't know if it's hot and cold, right? That type of thing. Or someone could be being emotionally cold, right? Emotionally detached and kind of cold, and not thinking about how what they say might affect what other people think or feel, you know? And then this is also Scorpio energy, right? All right. But it also could be like the way that somebody is saying or doing whatever. It could just be because they might be, it's about them and how they feel about something. So, anyway, I'm gonna leave it there, Leo, and like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. It's Providence Tarot, and my personal account is NYC Kendrick. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe, okay? hit the notification bell, comment on the video, whatever. I like to keep the conversation going out there in the community.